chips, right? Yeah, so let's all come into a tabletop position. So that means we're going to get onto our hands and knees. Line up your hands under your shoulders, please, and your knees under your hips. And then just start to rock a little bit forward and back. Just rocking. You'll feel a little bit in your wrists, maybe your knees, your hips. And then rock maybe a little bit side to side. And again, you'll just notice the joints feeling this more than the muscles. And then I'm going to have you rock forward, and then rock right, and then rock back, and then rock left, and then forward. Let's do that again. So all the way forward, then right, then back, then left, then forward. You're kind of making a diamond, and it's kind of linear. You know, I just want you to kind of feel that, all 4 points, all 4 directions. It. Like really stick it out to one side, pull it forward, take it back. That's it. And then I want you to start to soften the edges. Start to make it a little bit more circular and really kind of start swirling around and give yourself a little bit of freedom. Yeah, that looks really good. Keep your handprints really firm. Keep pressing through your shins and the tops of your ankles, and let this really articulate through your spine and your hips and your shoulders. And then start to slow it down, bring it to center. Just start to notice right here as you tune into your breath, if your body's already feeling the yoga. Take 2 breaths here. Slow it down right into the center. It. And then we have to go the other way. So lean it forward, lean it left, pull it back, and then right. And make it a little linear, kind of like a diamond. Start out like feeling each point. Like push it back, pull it to the side, you know, take it forward. There is something to be had in both the linear and the fluid. So I want you to appreciate both. And lots of friends are still kind of coming in and filling in, so we're just going to take our time as we move through this little warm-up and let them settle. I'm going to start to make those edges a little softer and start to make it a little more circular. That's it. And the whole time, make sure you're breathing. The key to making the yoga work and making the yoga magical is in the breath. The breath is your connection. It deepens your experience. It awakens your consciousness. And then we'll start to make that a little smaller and sort of bring that into stillness. Just find your center and take 2 breaths. And just notice if you can feel. Feel the cells already dancing. And then we're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to lift our knees just an inch or 2, and we're going to start to bring a little bit of heat in. We call that a floating tabletop. And so the belly draws to the spine. You feel nice and strong. And then we're going to move into a turbo dog. So I want you to keep your knees bent, but start lifting the hips up and back. Press the chest down gently, and then let your head drop. And so I want you to feel your sit bones rise, but keep them narrow. That's it. And make sure you're breathing. And you can press out a little bit through your heart. And then just keeping all of that, start to straighten your legs slowly back. Push into the heels. And let's bend the right knee and just bend and stretch a little deeper into the left. And then go ahead and switch to the other side. And so you want your hips way up in the air. That's it. It's like an upside down V. And then one more time, let's go ahead and press both back. And then we're going to slowly, carefully walk the hands back to the feet. So take your time walking toward the back of the mat. That's it. And I want you to widen your stance just a little bit. And then maybe turn your toes out slightly. And then take a deep breath in and just look up a little bit. And then start bending your knees and give me a really nice deep squat at the back of the mat. I know it's a little early for that. Bring your hands together at your heart, lift your head. Close your eyes for a moment and just feel. That's it. You can be on your toes or you can be on flat feet. What I really want is for you to be in your breath. And as you are breathing, you're also just witnessing what you're feeling in your body. So take one more breath here, and then just as carefully, we're going to release our hands down, lift the hips up, and straighten the feet out. And we'll stay in this forward fold for a couple of breaths, and again, an opportunity to feel. I want you to keep those feet really firmly planted on the ground. And then start to soften your knees just a little bit. Pull the belly button into the spine so you feel your core. And then tuck your chin and start to roll up slowly. Take your time. Keep pressing through your feet. Feel each vertebra stack on top of the other. All right. Inhale, arms reach. This should be the best moment so far. Good. Hook your thumbs together. Draw your tailbone down just a little bit and give me just a beautiful stretch over to the right. If I go with one or the other, I gotta stop. Yeah, that's it. So everyone's stretching to the right. And again, keep it simple. These movements are not crazy contortionist things. These are really beautiful, magical movements for the body. They awaken our cellular body. They awaken our physical structure, but they also awaken our energy. So breathe a little bit more into that right side. And then come back up to center and just stretch beautifully over to the other side. Allow some level of sensitivity. And as your hands and your upper body are moving to the left, move your hips a little bit to the right. Yeah. Pay attention to what you feel. How could you make this a little bit more spacious? On your inhale, let's rise up to the center. Go ahead, release your arms down, and again, just take a moment just to feel the yoga. It's already happening. A little stretch, a little breath, and a little presence. It's like the ingredients for a magical life. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Look a little bit forward now. Walk your hands out to plank. We're going to hold plank for just a moment, and I'd like you to activate your legs. So your knees don't feel kind of soft. The knees feel like they're lifting. And then pick the right foot up off the mat. Just unplug your toes and put it back down. Good. Now the other side. Pick up your toes on the left foot and put it back down. And then bend your elbows and lower yourself all the way to the belly. Move a little forward. Keep your elbows narrow. And then inhale into cobra. Take it slow. Take it really slow. Press through the tops of your feet. And see if you can get your chest to widen. Take one more breath. Filling up, filling up, filling up. And as you exhale, let it down. Good. Tuck your toes and return to downward facing dog. So how's everything feeling so far? So far, so good? Yeah, good. Okay, so I'd like you to now take your feet and just walk them all the way up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up and inhale, and then fold a little, exhale. Let's bend our knees and come up into chair pose. Sweep the arms up as you bend your knees and sit down. And then press through those feet and come to standing. Release your arms down by your sides. Nice. Feet are together now at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. And take a moment to notice that when you fold with your feet together, it's a little bit more intense. And so give that a breath or two. Let the body adjust. In the morning, sometimes there's tightness, and so we want to kind of work through it. Make sure you're breathing. And then come halfway up. Inhale, flatten your spine. And exhale, plank pose. All right, so we're going to unplug the right toes again. Go ahead and lift them off the mat, and then pull the right knee to the right elbow. See if you can make it touch. Very nice. And then a one-leg down dog. That right leg will go all the way up in the air. Nicely done. Come forward into plank one more time. Draw your knee right up to your chest. Keep your eyes forward. And now puff up your upper back. So you lift yourself away from the mat a little bit, and then step that right foot forward to your hands. Yeah, come on up for high crescent lunge. That's it. Soften your edges a little bit here. Don't try so hard. Just reach, lift your chest, breathe. And then let's place the hands down, step into plank, and hold. And so just right there, a little bit of emphasis in the leg work. Lift your knees a little bit away from the mat, and then unplug the left toes. Just lift them up, and draw that left knee to the left elbow. Keep your head up. And then one leg down dog, all the way up and back. Make it feel really good. That's it. And then we're going to come forward and bring it knee to nose, or knee to chest, actually. I don't want to say nose. Lift your head up. I want you looking toward your fingertips, and I want you to puff up your back. Push the floor away from you a little bit, and then step that left foot all the way to your hands, and rise for high crescent. And so we push down to rise up, and we put a little weight on the back leg. But I want you to soften your edges. Do you remember the difference in the feeling that we had from that linear diamond shape that we were doing? It was kind of jerky, right? And then we smoothed out the edges, and we came into this really nice, smooth, rhythmic, graceful practice. And so I want you to try to not be edgy today. See if we can keep some fluidity into our movements. And so, of course, we reach and we extend and maybe we sink, but we don't have any edges. Take a breath. And then exhale. Place your hands down, step back into plank, and this time lower. Lower all the way to your belly. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale backwards into down dog. All right, you can paddle your feet. Again, working through the edginess of the body, finding the fluidity in the hips. And then let's go ahead and press back through the heels, press back through the legs, and just very gently shake your head, yes. And then if you would, just shake your head, no. Just like if you were saying no to somebody. Nope, not doing it. And then tuck your chin all the way to your chest. Just get a little stretch in the neck. And then turn your gaze forward to your hands and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. That's it. Bend your knees, chair pose. Come to standing, reach for the sky, and then draw your hands right to your heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, fold in. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's take the right leg and step back. Stay on the toes. And then plant that right hand firmly down and take your first twist of the morning. Knowing that every movement, every breath is an opportunity for us to take away some of that edginess in the body. Let's see if we can lift the right hip bone a little higher and drop the left one a little lower. That's it. Just creating a little bit of stability And then twist just a touch more. Good. Go ahead, release your hand. Take it into that one leg down dog and make it feel really good. Left leg all the way up to the sky. Go ahead, open the hip up high. And then turn your gaze underneath your left arm and bend that left knee. And just again, just see if you can work away from the edge. That's it. Lift through the knee. Take a nice deep breath. And then simply place your foot back on the mat. Push back a little, inhale. And then exhale, look forward. You can jump, step, or walk to the top of the mat. Come halfway up as you inhale, and then fold deeply, exhale. Let's bend our knees and take chair pose. Again, nothing edgy, nothing, just no drama. Just reach a little through your heart. It will extend out to your fingers, and then press through your feet and come on up, rise, tall, stretch, and then hands right to your heart. Same thing, other side. Inhale, the arms reach. And then exhale, we fold. Take a breath and come up halfway. And then your left leg will take that big step back. Stay on the toes, plant your left hand down, and twist open now to the right side. And again, just pay more attention to the feel than the do. When you're paying attention to what you feel, there's a different level of consciousness about your movements. You can notice when one part of your body started to check out, and you can invite it to check back in. There's something really, really beautiful about that. So don't get carried away in the outer form. Feel a little bit more connected to what's happening inside. We're going to try and lift that left hip just a little higher and drop the right one in a little bit lower. Give me one more twist. Breathe in, open your chest, look up. And then place your hand down. Go ahead and take that one leg down dog. Right leg sweeps up and enjoy it. Yeah, open up the hip, stretch through your toes, maybe even bend your knee. Use your knee to reach for the sky and turn your gaze underneath that right arm. Be careful, sometimes the left shoulder starts to collapse here. I want you to keep that one lifted. So lift your left armpit just a little bit. Keep the structure in the upper body. That will give you a little bit more freedom to stretch the lower body. And then when you're ready, go ahead and place both of your feet onto the mat. Inhale, push back. And then take that journey forward. Walk the feet or jump or hop all the way up to the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Good. Inhale, rise with a flat back. Press through your feet, reach through your arms, lift your heart, your gaze, and then hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Step back and lower on the exhalation. So we're going to move up the pace just a little bit. Inhale for cobra, one breath, one beautiful back bend. And then exhale right into down dog. And so all of the movements should be familiar, and we should be able to start to move with the breath. And that's part of what makes Vinyasa so amazing, is the deep connection of the movement and the breathing. And really the underlying secret to that is that we could actually be busy moving all through our days and also attentive to our breath. Right? All the complicated poses, all the transitions with a consciousness and a breath steady the whole time, that means that could transfer into your life. That can transfer into your day. Take one more breath, push back, and then exhale, look forward. Let's bring our feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. With a flat back, rise to standing. Lift your head and chest and reach. And then hands come to your heart. We're going to do it again. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold in deep. Breathing and moving. Lift and lengthen on that inhale. Step back and lower on the exhale. Inhale through cobra, opening the chest. Careful with your lower spine. Exhale, down dog. Breath is steady. Press a little bit through your hands, through your feet. See if you can expand the space just a little. And then just take one more breath as you push back. And then exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet right up to the top. Lift halfway, inhale, and then fold as you exhale. Here comes flat back, rising. Push through your feet and reach for the sky. Hands come right to your heart. Good. Inhale, chair pose. One breath. No drama. Forward fold. Exhale. Let it go. Come halfway up. Inhale. Now step back and lower. We are going to take it up a notch. So take it all the way to the belly and then inhale for cobra. Exhale, down dog, and step up with your right foot. Right away, we step up and turn the back foot flat. Come into warrior one. I'm going to give you 2 breaths here instead of 1. Facing forward, arms up. Take your last breath here, and as you exhale, it's hands down, step back, and lower. It's all kind of one smooth transition. Take a breath in cobra, and then touch your down dog. This time the left foot comes up, the right foot turns flat, and we come to warrior, and I'll give you a couple breaths here because it takes a little while to get the footing right, to feel the expression of the pose. Let's see if we can sink in a little bit into the front knee while we lean some weight into the back foot. Take one last breath, and then exhale, flow it out. Hands down, step back, and lower. Take a breath as you do a little back bend, and then exhale into your downward facing dog. All right, so that is traditionally done with 1 breath only. So I'm going to have you do that now. Right foot steps up, left foot turns in. 1 inhale, rise. And then exhale, bring it right back down. Hands down, step back and lower. If you're breathing long and slow and deep, you don't have to rush. So we take cobra and then return to down dog. Here's the left side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Rise on the inhalation. And then hands down, step back and lower as you empty out your breath. Take a deep inhale in cobra, and then exhale into downward facing dog. So that does move a little bit quick, I know, and we're only going to go through that once or twice. And so I really want you to find the rhythm of your breathing so that you can match the poses to the breath. It doesn't always work out so well if you try to match the breath to the poses. You have to honor the rhythm of your natural breathing, right? We've got to get in tune with ourselves and then layer the activity on top. Wouldn't that be a great lesson for life? So push back a little bit, take a breath, and then as you exhale, look forward and walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale, fold, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose. That's it. And then come to standing with your hands at your heart. All right, so find that breath. And here we go. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair pose. The arms reach as you sit back. Exhale, forward fold. When you're ready to inhale, lift your chest, lengthen, and then step back and lower. Empty out. Here's your inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, make your way to down dog and step that right foot up. We're going to rise as you come into warrior. 1 breath, rising up, and then exhale, right back down. Hands to the ground, step it back and lower. Whew. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Do it on the left side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Breathe in, rise. And then exhale, let it go. Hands down, step back and lower. We're almost there. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Woo! Give me a little love there. Yeah. You guys are rocking today. And it's really nice if we can get a rhythm, if we can get a little bit of movement, because it's nice and cool today, right? We have a cool breeze. We have lots of cloud cover. We're not being oppressed by the South Florida summer in this moment. So let's enjoy it. Take 1 more breath and push back. And then exhale, look forward. Jump, step, or walk right up to the top of the mat. take a breath, lift halfway, and then fold. Go ahead, bend your knees, chair pose, and then come to standing. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, hands are at the heart. Are you guys up for one more round? Yeah? I think they are. Are you guys up for one more round? Yeah, okay, so let's do it. When you're ready, inhale, chair pose. As you exhale, fold in. Lift halfway, inhale, and then step back and lower. Good. Inhale as you take the back bend. Exhale as you move to down dog. Right foot steps, left foot flat. Here's your inhale. Take a deep breath as you rise up for warrior one. And then as you exhale, it's hands down, step back, lower. You got to make that all happen in that same breath. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest, breathe in. Exhale, down dog, left foot steps. You got to rise on the inhale, and then exhale it all the way back down. Hands down, step back and lower. Breathe in, lift your heart. Breathe out, take it back to down dog. Wow. All right, make it the best down dog that you can do. Use your legs, use your hands, lift your hips, find the space. And then when you are ready, I want you to look forward to your hands, and you can jump, step, or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in deeply. And then bend your knees for chair pose. We're going to stay. Now this time there might be a little bit of drama. There might be. And so I want you to get really tuned into your footprint right now. I want you to notice if you have just as much weight in your toes and your heels. Yeah, you got to sit in those feet. You got to trust the foundation of the pose. Try not to squeeze your knees together. Allow a teeny bit of space there. And then draw your tailbone down just a little so you can feel the belly lift into the spine for support. Go ahead and sit a little more into your heels. Lift your chest higher. So we got to keep the front ribs soft, and we got to sit back. Now come to standing slowly, hands right at your heart. Let's wiggle our heels out just a little bit. So we're going to heel toe out to hip distance. And then right here, we're going to start to sit back and reach the arms forward. And I want you to feel how the hips can pull you back, but the chest and the arms can pull you forward. That's it. Very, very nice work. Go ahead, take one more inhale, and then slowly come on up. Good. Take a nice deep breath and reach, and then bring your hands to heart center. Bring your feet right back together. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Take a deep breath, lift halfway, and then lunge back with that right leg. And this time I want you to take a low crescent lunge. So we're going to put that right knee down on the mat, and then sink in a little deeper into your hips. That's it. You can keep your hands on the mat, and let's actually move both hands to the inside of the foot. And go ahead, I'd like to even say bow your head forward. Yeah. I'm going to give that a moment. Tune into your breath, notice what you feel. Try not to make it edgy. You might even shift your weight a little bit to one side or the other and find just the right spot. All right. On your next inhale, I want you to look up a little, and then I want you to come up onto your fingertips so you're not as heavy in the hands and the wrists, and you start to realize that you can actually pull the belly in, and you can pull your legs into the hip sockets and create a little bit of integration, a little bit of support, and then I want you to let your arms rise all the way up over your head. Very nice. Keep breathing. Keep pulling the legs into the hip socket. That's it. Now, I want you to reach a little more with your right arm. Just keep stretching the right arm, which makes the right side of your body feel a little longer. And then drop your left arm behind your back and see if you can touch your right leg behind you. There. Now, if you're still feeling that integration in the hips, you can even twist and look all the way out to the left. Yeah. Say hello to the right side. Press your toes down on the right foot. Reach through your right fingers. Maybe even tip the head back a touch. There you go. One more breath. As you look forward, let's bring the left arm back up. And then exhale, release both hands to the floor. Happiness is hands on the floor, right? All right, so soften again. Soften your edges and wiggle your left foot a little bit wider on the mat. Go out toward the edge. And then I'd go so far to say is turn the left toes out so your foot is at an angle. And then if you want to, you can roll onto the pinky toe side of your foot and let that knee drop open. Yeah. Keep the front knee bent, so you got to stay forward in that pose. Yeah. And you hold that forward. Yeah. And then open. Yeah. Thank you. So lots of breathing, lots of feeling, lots of noticing. Sometimes we're moving briskly and busily through life. Sometimes we are steady, concentrated, focused. And no matter what, we're breathing. Let's take one more breath here. Just feel that. And then pivot your toes forward. Bring the foot right back into your alignment with your hip. And then tuck your right toes under and step it back into plank pose. It should feel really good. Inhale right there, and then exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale into cobra. Keep your hips on the mat, just open the chest, and then exhale back to down dog. Very, very nice work. Let's push back just a little bit, and then look forward to your hands. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees for chair pose. Yep, juicing up the legs a little bit. Feel the footprints. See if you can feel your front ribs draw down as your biceps draw back a little toward the ears. And then come to standing, reach for the sky, and draw your hands right to your heart. Inhale, arms reach. Keep moving and breathing. Stay focused inward. Exhale, fold deeply. Lift and lengthen on that inhale. Now the left leg is going to take it back. Lunge back and drop the knees softly onto the mat. We're going to move both hands to the inside and just kind of stay there and breathe and feel. There's nowhere to really get to. Just let it. Let the pose be. Your breath is steady. And you're noticing that even if you rock a little bit to one side or the other, that the sensations change a little bit. And there may be something that needs a little bit of love. There may be something that needs to be left alone. But how are you going to know that unless you explore just a little bit? All right, now, I want you to come back up onto your hands, lift your head, and start that integration work, a little bit more support. So it's exactly like you feel like you're trying to pull your leg bones into your hip sockets. Does that make sense? Sometimes I wonder if I speak a weird language, you know? Like, normal people don't say that every day, but try to imagine how you could do that. What muscles would you engage to pull the leg bones into the hips? And then start to lighten the load on your hands and rise up into this beautiful low crescent lunge. That's it. And then we're going to expand into the left side. So I want you to keep reaching through the left hand. That's it. And don't be afraid to bend the front knee. The more you deepen into that front of that left hip, the better it's going to feel. And then the right arm is going to drop back. See if you can reach for your hand behind you. That's it. And then just like fall in love with this pose. Get curious about maybe twisting a little more to the right side. Find the lift. Tip the head back just a touch. Feel the extension. Take one more breath. Twist just a little deeper. On your next in-breath, let both arms rise, face forward. And then take your hands back down. Smile on your face. Let's widen the stance. That'll make it feel even better. Wiggle the right foot to the right edge. Turn the toes out. And then roll onto the edge of your foot and just explore a little deeper into your hip. There you go. So the front knee is bent, it's turned out, and you are just feeling your hips. And almost everyone who's coming to India with me today is here in this park. Like almost our whole group is here this morning. So this practice is for you guys, because we're going to be sitting on a plane for hours and hours. Yes. So we're doing a little piriformis love. We're going to open our hips up. Yeah. That's it. Take one more breath right there. That's it. And then bring it back to center. Let's narrow it back to our hip distance. So wiggle that right foot back where it belongs. Tuck the back toes and take plank pose. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale into your cobra, and exhale back into down dog. All right. Now, when you are ready, I would like for you to take the right foot and step up, and then stay on your left toes. Rise to your high crescent lunge. And then turn open to the left for warrior two. Where can you create space in this pose? So bend the front knee. Turn a little here. That's it. Be careful of the edges. Right? This is a really easy pose to get edgy in. I see all of your jaws like locked up and your eyes really fierce. So maybe you start softening in the facial expression and let that trickle down through your body. Take one more breath here. Reach your left arm back a little more as you bend your right knee in a little deeper. There you go. All right, come on up. Reach both arms up to the sky. And then pivot your right toes in, put your hands on your hips, and forward fold. Nicely done. Recovery moment. Just 2 breaths. And now come up halfway on the inhale. Exhale completely, and then rise on the inhalation. Good. Let's turn the left toes out. Come into warrior two. And so some of us might have lost our spacing a little bit, so just make sure it feels right. Your stance is nice and long. Your left toes are turned out. Your right toes are kind of square to the back edge of the mat, or maybe slightly turned in, depending on your bone structure. And then you're really nice and wide across the chest. Reach like you mean it with your right arm. Pull that right arm back like you mean it, and then sink a little bit into your left knee. That's it. Just breathe. Soften your eyes, soften your jaw. Make sure you feel breath in your back body. There it is. Last breath. And then straighten that leg and come on up. Reach for the sky. Pivot your left toes in and forward fold. All right, just lift halfway and take a breath. And then take your arms behind you and clasp them together. Interlacing all of your fingers. Pull the arms back and pull the chest forward. Breathe in. And then exhale, fold. Stretch out your shoulders a little bit while we release our legs and our hips. And you know, while you're down there, you have a great opportunity here to tune in and check out your feet. Some of you are falling deep into the arches of the feet, and I'd love for you to lift the arches and push a little more into your baby toes. That's it. And I really want you to keep those footprints strong and solid, so when you come up, you're grounding down to help you rise. So here we go. On the inhale, lift your head and your chest. Start to rise up. Good. Reach your arms way up. That's it. And now keep them up for a moment as you turn both of your toes out. Yep, both of those toes are turning out. Bring your hands to your heart and bend your knees. Come on down. Can you still feel how important it is to keep those baby toes grounded? Arches of the feet lifted. I like what I see. Now, we're going to open our arms out wide, bend the elbows about 90 degrees, and spread your fingers fierce. Yeah, goddess pose. Now, that's not every ordinary day goddess. That is like the fierce mother goddess right there. That reminds me of like Kali, right? So go ahead, take a really big inhale, stick your tongue out, and make the biggest noise you possibly can. Yep, do it again. Big inhale. Well, I want to hear you. Last one. It'll distract you from your hips. Yeah, sit in a little deeper, and then come on up. Stretch for the sky. Turn your toes in. Hi, girls. And then forward fold. Hey, beautiful girls. All right, come halfway up. And then just walk your hands toward the front edge of your mat. So we're going to walk it forward, pivot the feet with you. And then if you would, just step back the right leg into your plank and lower. Hi. All right, inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. How are you feeling? Yeah, starting to get a little juicier? Let's walk our hands back to our feet. One more time, we're at the back of the mat. Bend your knees and roll up slowly. Take care of your lower back. Articulate your spine one vertebra at a time. Your feet should be hip distance apart. I want you to reach up high and then release your hands to your hips. Good. We're going to bend the knees a little bit. And then I want you to lift your right leg and cross your right ankle over your left knee. That's it. Now, sit yourself back. We kind of did that earlier with 2 feet on the ground. Now we're going to keep that external rotation on the right leg as you sit back and then go ahead and reach forward. Keep your hands at shoulder level. Yeah. And if you're feeling so inspired, you could even lower your chest toward your right shin. As the hips go back, the arms and chest reach forward. Find that balance. A flex in the right foot is always actually really good here. Now slowly come to standing, reach for the sky, and release your foot back to the mat. Good. Hands come to your hips. We'll try the other side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Inhale. Arms reach forward as you sit back. A little flex. So pull the left toes up toward the shin. Whenever you connect with the soles of the feet, you feel a little more stable in your work. Hips can stick out a little bit behind you as your chest and arms reach forward. Find a way to expand without getting edgy. That's it. And then slowly come to standing as you reach up high, release your feet down low, and then hands come to your hips. Good. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Walk the hands forward, plank pose, back to what you know. Lower down, slow. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Okay, let's take the right leg all the way up into the air. It should feel really good. Your hips are really starting to open. And then we're going to step that right foot all the way forward to the hands and walk it over, like wiggle it over to the left side of the mat. and bring yourself down into your pigeon pose. And before you come all the way down, I want you to just come to your elbows. So just rest onto your elbows. There's a couple little things, and Bill's working really hard. There's a lot of adjustments that can be made in this pose. So I'm going to ask you all to make sure that your right knee stayed to the right. I want the right knee in front of the right hip. Don't let it cross into the middle. Yes. And then try to get your left leg straight behind you. So turn that back leg in a little for me. Make sure the back knee is turned down toward the mat. So if your weight is really heavy into the right hip, you got to center yourself just a little bit. Yep, I'm talking to you. Yeah, it does. There, so stay on your elbows, stay in the center. Is that better? Okay, no. Okay, now on your forearms like that, lift your chest forward and your gaze forward. And then just a little bit, shift your weight and your hips a little bit side to side and just feel what's going on in there. Stay a little bit strong in your core and just kind of play with what's happening in the hips. So then now when you go to sink in, there's no edginess, there's no gripping. Let's go ahead and lay it down. You can release your elbows, release your head. And if you have any kind of creative variation that you like to play with in this pose, feel free to express it. The twist is nice. To either side actually works beautifully. Some of you can bind and come into the full king pigeon. And so I'll give you room for that if you want to explore it. If your body resists, don't force it. Go ahead and take one more breath. Finish what you're doing. And then we're going to come out really gracefully. No edges. So both hands to the mat. Tuck your left toes under. And in slow motion, go ahead and float that right leg all the way back up into the air behind you. Oh, stretch through your toes. Yep, lift it a little higher. As you reach up to the sky, sink your left heel down. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and place that foot on the mat. All right. Optional, take a vinyasa here, which means come forward into plank and flow, or no yasa, right, Daph? Yep. And you can step the other foot forward. I'm just going to skip that song and that one. It happens on this playlist every time. All right, so again, left foot is going to go up in the air, and then it comes all the way through to your hands. We wiggle it over to the right side. And again, make sure that that left knee stays in front of the left hip. Don't let it move to the center line. We're going to rest down onto our forearms and just give ourselves an opportunity to adjust here. Breathe. Engage the core just a little as you lengthen forward, and then see how it feels to rock a little side to side in your hips. Maybe even slide the right leg back just a little bit. And make sure you're breathing and feeling and nothing's edgy. Check your facial expression. Wow. You guys are lucky. And then once you feel like the edginess has softened, you can go ahead and lay yourself down into that pose just a little more deeply. And if laying in there makes it feel edgy, then back up to where you were before. And no matter what it is that you're dealing with, I want you to make sure you're breathing. If you have a variation in the pose that you like, a different arm position, or a different way to express it, I'm going to give you some freedom here. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. Okay. I want you to finish up what you're doing. And then start to make your way back to center and to your hands. We're going to tuck the right toes and float the left leg all the way up. Just take it all the way up and stretch and feel and breathe. Spread your toes up to the sky and then sink your right heel down low. And then you have that option as you step your foot down to take one last vinyasa or find your way to seated. Simple cross legs should feel pretty good. Bring your hands at your heart. Just pause for a moment. Keep breathing. See if you can not only become still in this seat, but notice just in the space of your own mat, the stillness that's around you. And know that that same stillness exists in everyone on their own mat. And so the space in this park with all of us gathered together has really become quite still. It's amazing how still we can become while the world moves around us. And again, a connection to our bodies, a connection to our breath, moments of connecting with present time. These are the skills that we need to take with us when we step off the mat. That's why we call this practice. Now, as you make your way onto your back, I want you to really appreciate the feeling of that earth beneath you. Okay. If you would, please bend your knees and put the soles of your feet onto the mat. Just become steady. Place your hands on your body and feel your breath. I want you to move your feet wide to the edges of the mat and let both of your knees drop to the right. So the knees are bent and the feet are wide. Both knees bend. It's totally okay. There. Be as soft as you can. Again, nothing edgy. An opportunity to just tune in and feel. Just notice, is there something a little different? As I change the shape of my body, do I feel different sensations? Does that stir different inner dialogue? What happens in these moments? And we're not going to stay too long. Take one more breath and just keep your feet where they are, but let your knees roll all the way over to the other side. And again, just notice the transition. Pay attention to the sensations and make sure the whole time you're breathing. It is possible to breathe and move and be consciously awake. It's what we've been practicing all morning. And take one more breath here. And then bring those knees up to the center. Let's wiggle the feet together into the center of the mat and let the knees drop open. Now let's take the arms up over the head.
Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye
Go ahead and take one more breath.
Nishprapanchaya Shantaya
And then begin to bring your arms down and your knees up. Let's pull our knees right up into the belly and give them a really good squeeze. And if there's anything here that would feel better, like knees wider or knees narrower or rocking side to side, I want you to make that choice for yourself. And so again, a moment of yogi's choice, conscious choosing. If you need to twist a little, go ahead. And then eventually, let's all find our way into that final resting pose. So Shavasana is our ultimate challenge to have no edginess. It's formless. It's an opportunity to practice letting go. No gripping, no holding, no pushing, no pulling, no trying. And so how do we deal with the stillness? We cultivate a skill of being in the stillness. and then actually eventually being the stillness. Let everything settle, mind, body, and spirit.
Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase
Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Witness your awakening, witnessing the awakening of the body. Start to stretch and move and return to a seated position. We can bring our hands together at the heart. Know that everything you did today on the mat will be way more valuable if you carry it through into your day. If every once in a while, when you're in the midst of the frenzy of your life, or in those kind of dull moments of your life, that you can live them a little bit more fully and with a little bit more presence. What's happening around us is not quite as important as how we receive it, how we respond to it, how we choose to be in it. This would be our yoga. This would be our yoga. We're going to close the practice with the sacred sound of Om. And I ask you to chant this sound Om because it's the most beautiful universal sound. It's not really connected to a religion. It's a way for us to raise our own vibration and in some way sort of make a statement about wanting to raise our own vibration and sort of own that in the world. And so in every day that we step on the mat, every day that we breathe and move, every pause we take in the midst of our day, it's all meant to raise our consciousness and our awareness. And so let us all find our voices and allow that vibration to move up through us. It starts with the A sound, then the U sound, then the M. And don't blow it all on the A. You got to save some for the M because that's where the best part of the resonation comes. That's where we get it to re-vibrate in our crown. And so let's all take a really nice deep breath in. Big, big, big inhale. Namaste. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. What a beautiful practice. What perfect weather. It was supposed to be pouring all morning, and it just somehow doesn't rain on us. How grateful are we, huh? And so I have 2 amazing subs the next 2 weeks. So please come out, keep your practice going. I have amazing people filling in my classes all through the week at the studio as well, so just don't miss your yoga. Keep practicing. Experience somebody new. They will have something even better, something even more mind-blowing for you if you change it up, you know, hear a new voice, hear new movement, feel new movement. So keep practicing. Something Big 2018, January 1st, registration is open. So you can actually go to somethingbig2018.com and you can register. So start filling it out. I don't know, we had 50 or 60 maybe already, just since yesterday, like already starting to roll. So get your spot. We have expanded our reach this year. We're working from Miami to Jupiter. That's how much we're spreading our wings this year in terms of representation and volunteers. So it's going to fill up. So tell your friends, get your spaces. It is just an amazing way. It's like this times 100, you know? So register now at Something Big. Also, when I return, I have an event. So if anyone's interested in taking a road trip with me to Tampa, I'll be teaching at the Wanderlust 108. It's like a triathlon for yogis. It's like a 5K run or walk or shuffle or whatever you want to do. You dance. And then a yoga and a meditation with a whole afternoon of amazing people, amazing teachers. And DJ Drez, who spins the music for us on New Year's Day, is going to be there too. So we're going to be hanging with DJ Drez. So Tampa Wanderlust, it's the 24th. It's a Sunday the 24th if you want a road trip. The coolest part is I got a call from them yesterday, and they told me that the Yoga Journey code for ticket sales is outselling everybody, even in the local Tampa market area. So even those studio partners are not selling as many tickets as the Yoga Journey peeps. So if you want to come to Tampa with me, the code is Yoga Journey with a capital Y, capital J, all one word. So Yoga Journey, capital Y, capital J, all one word. Thank you so much.
Also, I want to know, did you get the Course in Miracles?
Of course,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
It's in my
good.
home library.
All right, honey,
Yes,
good.
of
Have a
course.
wonderful
Thank you.
trip. I love you.
I love you too. Hi, and the sign-in sheets are here if anyone would like. I have magnets, I have passes and schedules. Here's the information for Wanderlust. The code is Yoga Journey, one word, with capital Y, capital J. You gonna road trip to Tampa with your mama? Of course. I love pop chips, and I love you.
Leslie, good to see you, and safe travels to India, okay?
Thank you, and
Happy
thank
New
you for
Year.
always being so generous and sharing.
Of course, we'll do it again soon. When
Okay.
you're back, we'll figure out how to get you more.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
See you in Something Big.
You going away too?
Going to
To
Israel for
Israel.
almost 4 months.
Oh, good, but you'll be back for January. Okay. Thank you. Be safe.
You too.
Aw. Oh, my mic
Next
is
time you
still on.
should think about with all the group.
I am thinking about it. It keeps coming up for me. I don't think I'll make it in 2018 because I already have Africa booked, and I'll probably do something in Europe, but I think in 2019, Israel is really calling me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want
Morocco and Israel are both calling me right now, and Thailand too, and Bali. So like really, I have
no
to.
Thailand. So do you want me to look for you for something special?
If there was
or-
something special, yeah, I would love the information. Always when I have local knowledge, it's always better than me just going on the internet. So, yeah.
Okay, we will take care of 19. There is some nice place, and we will talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been since I'm 16 years old. It's a long time ago. Yeah.
Safe trip, bye
Thank you so
Candios.
much.
Bye Candios.
What does that mean?
Go with God.
Thank you. May I always go with God everywhere I go, not just to India. Everywhere, every step.
Every step.
Yes. Hi there. Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Meet you. This is amazing. Thank you.
Did you have a good practice?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
I feel so much better.
We're twinning.
Yeah. Not hard to do them both, right?
Right?
So thank you.
So
really.
did you, was that you?
signed here,
Okay, good.
yeah.
That's my email list, and then that's just the sign in for the day.
Have a
Yeah.
wonderful trip.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful
you.
time.
Thank you.
See all the pictures.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have, oh, I'm out. No more. Thank you so much. You did great.
Oh my God, thank you. You know, this is my
travels, happy,
She's taking my
healthy.
class at LA. I never see. Oh, there's no class
This was a
tomorrow.
perfect class. She said, lady, you have no idea how lucky you are. Leslie's here today. So, yeah. Your name is like, you know, pretty awesome.